म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट करना है, लेकिन बेस्ट म्यूचुअल फंड कौन सा है, ये कैसे डिसाइड किया जाए, आइए इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे। और साथ में ये भी डिस्कस करेंगे कि म्यूचुअल फंड पे जो आपको प्रॉफिट, आपको जो गेन्स मिलता है, उस पर टैक्सेशन कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट होता है। हेलो भाई, नमस्ते। माय नेम इज अनामिका राणा एंड आई एम एन अकाउंटेंट। Hello and namaste, my name is Anamika Rana and I am a chartered accountant. In today's video, we will talk all about how to decide which mutual fund to invest in and how does the tax get implied on the profits of your mutual fund. But before that, if you don't know what is a mutual fund and what are the types of mutual fund, I would suggest you please watch the video which is there in the link above and understand the basics, and then you come back to this video to decide on how to select a particular mutual fund. So let's start. Step number 1 is to first know the company or the companies in which the mutual fund is invested. So for example, like we all know, every fund basically has a portfolio of companies in which the fund manager or the fund managers invest the money that we have invested as retail investors. Now it is important to understand what is the sector and what are the companies in which that particular mutual fund has invested. For example, there are funds which are specifically focused on one particular sector, but it is important to understand how that sector is performing in the economy at that given time and what is the future growth prospect of that particular sector from a long-term horizon as well. For that, of course, you can go to the company's websites one by one, even refer to the documents and the annual reports, the financial statements from the website of NSE or BSE as well, and get a basic idea around the revenue and the financial numbers of the company or the companies in which that particular mutual fund is investing. Step number 2 is to analyze the returns. Now this is a very tricky part because when it comes to returns, we often get confused with the last year or the latest year's returns. Now that is not the right way because you cannot decide the performance of a fund simply based on the past year's returns. So instead of seeing just a single year's returns, what you should see is the average of the past 3 to 5 years, which is basically nothing but the rolling returns. And how do you see the rolling returns? You can go on websites like advisorcoach.com or even Morningstar, type in the name of the fund for which you want to check what is the rolling return, and accordingly make a comparison that in comparison to the entire category of that fund, how is that particular fund performing, and if it is performing at a higher return rate, of course it's a good sign. The third step to understand is NAV, which is net asset value. So when it comes to NAV, lot of people often get confused that a low NAV means a good investment and a high NAV means not a good investment. Well, it is a myth and it is completely wrong. And the right way to analyze the particular NAV is to see again which are the companies or the sector in which the fund is investing, and instead of seeing the particular price of that unit in the mutual fund, which is the NAV, what you can see is the trend of the NAV, whether the NAV over the past years is increasing or decreasing. If it is increasing, it simply means that yes, that particular mutual fund is giving a good amount of returns. And the formula of NAV is nothing but the total value, the total market value of all the securities in which that fund has invested minus the expense ratio, which is again nothing but all the costs which the fund has to incur. For example, the management expenses, the salaries, the marketing, promotion, distribution expenses. So after you minus the expense ratio, the net value divided by the total number of units which the fund has issued is basically the price of the NAV. Also, instead of just seeing the NAV, what you should really focus on is the CAGR returns, which is the compounded annual growth rate of the fund, and the rolling returns, which I have earlier mentioned in the step 2 as well. Now the fourth step that you need to analyze is the expense ratio. The word itself says expense means the expenses which the fund is incurring in expenses like the fund management expenses, the salary expenses, the marketing and the distribution expenses, the promotional expenses, and many other similar kind of expenses. Now of course, expenses means that the net profit will be reduced. So what you have to check is which is the fund which has a lower expense ratio. Usually the expense ratio of the funds vary from somewhere between 0.1 to 2.5%, and it is believed, it is said that the expense ratio above 1.5% is usually not a good sign. So look for a fund which has a minimum or an average or a lower kind of expense ratio, and then take a decision to invest in that particular fund. Now the step 5 is to decide what is the exit load. Again, the term exit load itself says that exit के time पे आपको जो load मिलेगा, right? Load क्या होता है? Basically expense. So the moment you decide to exit or withdraw the money from the fund and no longer be a part of the fund as a retail investor, the fund or the scheme will basically impose a particular expense or a penalty or a withdrawal charge on you. Now again, this exit load varies from fund to fund, but what you have to see is that because the exit load is not included in the expense ratio, you need to make sure that the expense ratio and the exit load are taken into consideration separately by you before you decide to invest in a fund. Also remember one thing, usually majority of the funds don't have an exit load if you withdraw the funds after 1 year. So suggestion would be, don't try to withdraw the funds after 6 months or 9 months. Try to stay invested at least for 1 year and then make a decision whether you want to still further invest or not. Okay, so that was all about the steps or the factors you have to consider before deciding which mutual fund to invest in. Now let's come to the part 2 of this video, which is all about taxation on the gains or the profits on mutual funds. Again, you have not seen the first part of this video where I have mentioned about the category of funds. I would urge you to first watch that particular video and then come back to this particular part for ease of understanding. But let me quickly give you a quick recap. So in mutual funds, there are majorly 3 types of categories. Number 1 category is debt fund, number 2 category is equity fund, and number 3 category is the hybrid fund, which is a combination of debt and equity. So now think about it like this. An equity fund or a hybrid fund is basically nothing but a fund which is investing in the shares of other companies, which is similar to investing in the shares directly, just the way you would have invested in the stock market. So the taxation is also very similar. So when you are investing in the equity of the market, basically either directly or through a mutual fund, you get imposed capital gains, which is short-term and long-term capital gains. The short-term capital gain is nothing but when you sell off or when you claim your profits within a year, which is 15% of the profits, and the other part is long-term capital gains when you decide to sell off or claim the profits after 1 year of holding the units or the shares in the market, which is basically 10%. However, if your profits are up to 1 lakh, then you will not have to pay a long-term capital gain on that. And the second type of investment is the debt fund, which is not taxed as capital gain, but that profit from the debt fund is basically clubbed into your entire gross income under the head of income from other sources. And just the way your usual income is taxed under the normal taxation slab, it also gets added, and then based on the percentage you are paying for the taxation, that is also subject to that particular percentage of taxation. So that was all about mutual funds, how to invest, what are the steps to consider before deciding which mutual fund you want to invest in, and how does the taxation part really get implied. I really hope this was a simple video and you found it really useful and helpful. If you did, please like the video and hit the subscribe button, and also share this video in your network, because when you show that you like this video, the algorithm shows it to more people, and that is how our channel will grow in the near time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, I will see you soon again. Take care. Namaste. Bye bye.